Welcome, guys, to the SPACs attack, baby. Let's get it started. All right, traders, welcome to the SPACs attack. I'm Mitch, your host. I got my man Chris Katje, my sidekick here. He's the man with the plans, the brains behind the show, guys. I hope you guys are excited. Smash the like down below. Let everyone know the SPAC attack is on, baby. Let's get it going. How you looking out there, Chris?
Good, busy morning. 2 new deals announced. We got a great show today for everyone listening.
Yeah, one of the things is, like always, we're going to bring you the information. We got some interesting Biden SPAC plays today, so definitely we'll get into those. But before we get into those, as you guys are seeing out there, SPAC's getting hit a little hard today. And one of the things is, we mentioned this, guys, there's going to be waves to this game. It's not just one. And it's not just going to be a straight up move, guys. There's going to be waves. And so when you have a big volatile market, you have to understand what your plan is and how you're attacking these. Are you a long-term investor? Are you trying to see these for the next 5 years and just sit and hold? Are you more trying to trade these, get the rips, sell into the rips, and buy the dips, as we talk about always on pre-market prep. And that's what you have to find out, guys. It's what your plan is and how you can go ahead and make profits here. All right, guys. So, Chris, I know that you're seeing some headlines out there. Let's go ahead and let's get into these headlines and take us back. All right, Chris, what's out there?
All right, guys. So we have 2 new deals announced today, earlier this morning. So first up is symbol THBR. This is Thunder Bridge Acquisition 2. So this SPAC is bringing Indie, a semiconductor company, public. This is the leading pure-play provider of next-gen semiconductor and software solutions for the rapidly growing auto technology market. So they're focused on autonomous connectivity, user experience, and vehicle electrification. They have a $2 billion backlog and a pipeline of $2.5 billion in possible deals, which this is going to help them with. They have deep relationships with tier 1 auto suppliers. This was a $495 million cash deal to the company, $150 million pipe. Equity value $1.4 billion post-transaction. $16 billion market in this auto market. It's seen to grow to $38 billion by 2025 due to the strong demand for silicon chips and software content in automobiles. 12 partnerships with tier 1. This founder of the company led several software companies. One of them he sold to Skyworks in 2009. This is a great looking thing behind the thing. Pick and shovel play for the growth in electric and autonomous vehicles. 85% revenue growth expected from 2020 to 2025 on an annual basis. So one of the key things I saw in the presentation is right now, each vehicle, $310 is kind of the silicon level there, but they see it growing to $4,000 per vehicle in the future. So as more vehicles become electric and autonomous, they need more of that sensing capabilities. This is the company Indie, that's going to help those vehicles get there. Tesla was shown in the slide deck along with Ford, GM, BMW, and all the leading car manufacturers. Another exciting thing could be that their phase 2 in 2023, they're going to ship a revolutionary LiDAR solution. So again, we've talked about LiDAR and all those companies going public. This is another possible play on that market. Second deal we had announced today, symbol EXPC. So this SPAC is bringing Blade, which is an urban air mobility company, public. Enterprise value $450 million. Blade will be the only publicly traded global urban air mobility company that's expected to close in the first half of 2021. That pipe was led by some key people. So we have David Geffen, we have Barry Diller from IAC, David Zaslav from Discovery Communications. I see Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google's name mentioned. So this is a company that's going to help people, use helicopters to fly to kind of take away from congestion at airports. So those willing, to pay to take those short trips, Blade is the company that's going to help with that. So the company was specifically designed for scalability and profitability. So short distance, 60 to 100-mile flights. They have deals with some airports, including the major ones in New York, which is their key market right now. They're also the largest transporter of human organs in Northeast U.S. They have an international joint venture signed in India, and that is an area of possible growth for them in the future, signing those deals where they're going to get royalties for using that Blade name. Airbus is an investor in the company. First mover advantage, number one share, short distance aviation markets, over 200,000 users. So revenue last year was $33 million from only 10 scheduled routes. By 2024, they expect $402 million in revenue with 28 routes. And then the other thing to look forward to is their eVTOL. So this is the electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. So electric helicopter, it will be piloted, but this is a catalyst for this SPAC going forward. So in 2025, that's expected to launch. Their revenue then they see jumping to $601 million in 2025, thanks to that new venture, and then also profitability, happening after that. So two exciting deals to kind of dive into there. And then let's get to the rest of the headlines. So symbol BTWN. This is Bridgetown Holdings. Haven't had a chance to talk about this one on the show yet. It was on my radar, and I wish we could have done a whole show on this. So this is a SPAC coming from Peter Thiel. You know him as the former Facebook investor. He's the co-founder of Palantir. So this is a SPAC targeting international markets. It's got another Asian investor in the finance department attached. So they're rumored to be bringing Tokopedia public. This is a Indonesian e-commerce company. So if you're a viewer of the show, you know that I like the emerging market e-commerce play like Jumia and Ozon. So I definitely want to take a look at Tokopedia and learn more about that company. This one has been trading higher on the rumor and also with Peter Thiel's name attached to it. Symbol QS, so QuantumScape. This is one we've talked about a lot, the hottest SPAC of the year, a battery play. The CEO was on Kramer last night. Shares didn't move a ton overnight, but they are up big today. I also saw an article out on Benzinga talking about how QuantumScape may be a short squeeze target as well, as a lot of people have shorted that at the top. Another exciting news item today, I want to make sure everyone is aware. So symbol RIDE, RIDE. This is Lordstown Motors. So we've talked about this one, and I want to go back to a month ago. I said on this show and in an article about a possible venture between Camping World and Lordstown Motors. So the CEO of Camping World, Marcus Lemonis, was on Twitter, shared several videos of him test driving the Endurance pickup truck. He's been tweeting all week about other ventures and the body of that vehicle. So last night he tweeted that the two companies, Lordstown Motors and Camping World, will have a joint press conference at 4 p.m. today. So I expect this could be the details of an electric RV or Camping World becoming a resale dealer network for Lordstown Motors. Full disclosure, I bought shares of Lordstown Motor last night. I'm excited to hear what this joint venture is, and we will see if one of those two possible catalysts that I pointed out, are what is announced, or if it's something, smaller, which could also send shares down. So, do your own due diligence. Be careful entering here as it is up today, but that is an exciting news item that we did get yesterday. Fisker, so symbol FSR. So over the weekend, there was a Forbes piece that highlighted the Fiskers and them taking on Tesla. So then yesterday, Henrik Fisker tweeted that they saw a spike in reservations over the weekend. So it looks like that news story may have brought some new eyes to Fisker, highlighting that Ocean electric vehicle. Their reservations are over 10,000, and more and more press about Henrik Fisker and what he wants to do with that electric vehicle company. VLDR, Velodyne LiDAR. This is one we've talked about a lot. We talked about yesterday with the Amazon autonomous vehicles from the Zoox unit. So Needham initiated coverage today with a buy rating and a price target of $30 on Velodyne. So this is, again, one of 4 LiDAR companies that have or are going public via SPAC. Definitely worth watching here, as Velodyne is one of the leaders in that SPAC market. PIC, so merging with XL Fleet, an electrification company. A caller on Mad Money last night asked Jim Cramer's opinion on PIC. He said he wouldn't bet against it. He actually said he went to school with Mr. Ledecky, the guy behind XL Fleet. But otherwise, he didn't really provide much commentary. But we do have that merger date coming up for PIC, and that positive mention on Kramer is something, as always, to watch with these SPACs. IPOB from Chamath, this hit an all-time high on Monday. That merger vote date for Open Door is set for this Thursday. So again, keep an eye on those shares as we head into that vote date. Then if you tuned into yesterday's show, you saw our calendar for this week and for the next coming weeks. So the dates to highlight today, we have the merger vote date for Landsea from symbol LFAC. And then, or that was yesterday. Today we have OPES voting on that merger with BurgerFi. So this is a fast casual burger chain. And then also, as we've been talking on the show, we have an investor presentation from Tattooed Chef, former SPAC, symbol TTCF. So those are definitely items to watch today as we are in the trading session. And I know that was a lot, but that's what I've got for headlines today, Mitch.
As you can tell, there's a lot going on out there right now in the market. One thing that I will mention, and that you got to be careful when these stocks are merging over. I'm going to go back to right here to the IPOB chart. It's starting to rip up. Yeah, you could possibly maybe get a rip up into the 30s and 40s. But one thing that I've always noticed, and I don't know if Chris has seen this pattern, but a lot of the times I think this is kind of more of what I see classic in a lot of stock is buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing. And where a stock will run up towards the merger vote because the rumor is that the vote is going to go through. And then when the vote actually happens, boom, then you'll see the stock get knocked down and then get back to an evaluation kind of measure. So definitely be careful with this one, IPOB. I do think it still has a little bit of room to run, but like always, you got to be careful once the merger vote actually goes through. And that's what I'd be kind of careful of out there. So like always, guys, one of the things we want to do is definitely mention some people from the chat. So let's go ahead. Say hello. If you're new to the chat, say hello right now. This is the shout out time. Let's get through it. So I wanted to say hello. Definitely a shout out to Jay Towers, the first one in the chat today. So Jay Towers, definitely. Boom, baby. I see you, baby. SBE, I will definitely get to that one. I got you. So, of course, we got Chase, no Chase. We got Scott, Steven, Joel in the house, Johan. We got Andrew, Jackie, Mac. What's going on, guys? We got Ray in the house. We got Melody. Hey, even Tiger Woods is back, baby. Let's do this. That's what I like to see, guys. So definitely, guys, hit the like below, hit the subscribe. This is what it's all about, guys. At the end of the day, it's for you guys. Even we got Pablo on LinkedIn. Guys, we're all over the world, guys. We're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn. So definitely shout out, hit the like below. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and let's get into our watch list time. I know everybody likes getting into our watch list, so let's do it. All right, guys, so pulling up the watch list here. Now, one thing that I'll definitely mention about this watch list is that you're going to start seeing that we have a lot of stocks kind of in this red area. And what does this mean, guys? There's going to be times of swings and waves in these SPAC trading. So at least from what the watch list is telling me, is that this is going to be a time when maybe we might have a down wave. Maybe I might need to be looking at evaluations and be looking for discounts. So definitely, that's what I'll be doing, guys. As you see, majority of my watch list in the red today. So we're going to go into some of the stocks that are doing well, and then some of the stocks that are getting hit the hardest today. Okay, so the first one I want to get into, this was already mentioned by Chris, guys, but VLDR, guys, trading higher after that knee ham coverage, and the buy rating announced at a $30 price range. You know, this is the great part of Benzinga Pro. You have the why is it moving, and it'll tell you right there. You don't need to search. It's right there. And so one of the things is we can pull up the chart here. We definitely see it start pushing up there today. And what did you get, guys? I talk about this constantly, and I try to teach you guys to look for those volume pops. Volume pop on December 8th, then sideways the next day. And when you pull back, you either need a big catalyst like you're getting kind of today with a buy rating, or some volume to start pushing it back up here. And so what I'll be looking for is, now that you're getting this pushback towards resistance to this 23, is can we get a big volume day to really push through that 23 so that we can head for this 25 high here. All right, so anything you want to mention on this one before I get off of it? VLDR, Chris?
No, you know, this one's spiking higher. It's had a couple positive catalysts, some analyst upgrades. And then this was also the one that is attached to that Amazon Autonomous. And then remember, this is the one that Citron kind of highlighted, where he said, you know, LAZR was overvalued and Velodyne could be undervalued. So we might have seen a shift of people getting out of Luminar and getting into Velodyne, which was actually the first LiDAR SPAC that was completed.
All right, guys, let's go into one of everybody's favorites. This is Lordstown Motors here, you guys. We talked about what the catalyst was here. One of the things that I'm definitely seeing in this stock is that there's been some kind of driving in volume. You see how the volume kind of, you know, it started here, very high peaking, kind of coming down, kind of coming down, kind of coming down, and then boom, we start getting some volume, some big bars. So there's some positions being taken here. The question is, where are the pricing and where is the volume profile? Where is the majority of the volume stuck in this stock so that you can try to get underneath it and get that underneath supply? So if it broke out here on this $14 break, and then it broke out here on this $20 break here, ripping up, and then it's pulling back towards this $20 push here, this is the important part. Are we going to hold this 18 here, or are we going to come back and test down towards this 16? I'll be paying attention towards that, because I always look for the 1, 2, 3 rule, and you've gotten that one drive, you got in that second drive. When's the third drive coming? I'm going to be looking for it, and I'll be seeing if we can get a hold of that support. All right, let's keep going. Let's go into another stock here. Want to keep going and keep moving along here. So let's go ahead and let's touch RBAC here. RBAC is not looking too bad, guys. I'm keeping an eye on this one. You know, this one has been really just hanging around the $10 price range. We talk about that consistently, how important that is. But not a lot of kind of data to pull off of. Chris, what do you know about this one?
Yeah, so Red Bull's been long rumored to be bringing Fenway Sports Group public, so owner of the Boston Red Sox, Liverpool soccer team, assets in NASCAR as well. This has been, you know, hinted at for a long time, but I haven't seen rumors lately. But this is one that did trade around $10 for quite a while, and it is starting to pick up. So it could be due to, you know, more people believing that that is the target, or people, you know, looking for SPACs between 10 and 11, you know, closer to the net asset value there.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more. It could be definitely a combination of both of those things. So I'll definitely keep this one on watch, guys. Let's keep moving. I want to get through a lot of stocks today, guys. So definitely hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you'd like to see a stock coverage, we're going to go through ticker time in about 5 to 10 minutes. And then you guys can spam all the tickers you guys want. I don't mind it. We'll get to that watch time. Let's keep running here. So FUV. This is one, we actually had on the small cap conference. I think Chris even interviewed them. So if you guys are not watching, guys, watch some Benzinga coverage. We had a small cap conference that covered a whole bunch of these smaller cap stocks. So if you missed that, definitely check it out. But Chris, what do you know about this FUV? You brought this up before.
I did. This is, one of the vehicle plays I really like. And guys, you've mentioned this one in the chat. Even though it's not a SPAC or an IPO this year, I did have the chance to interview the CEO during an electric vehicle panel. And I actually reached out to him, and he's interested in coming, on this show or another Benzinga show that we have to do a one-on-one interview. So if you guys are interested, let me know in the chat, and maybe we can make that happen, before the end of the year. I do like their partnerships that they have signed in the state of Florida, selling those smaller electric vehicles. And then I really loved his commentary on the growth of food delivery and how these smaller, one seat and two seat vehicles, they're going to be used for food delivery. They're going to be used for ride share and Uber and Lyft, and they're going to start mass producing these, and I think it's a great play here on the future of smaller electric vehicles.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things you can clearly see here on the chart is drive up, pull back, drive up, pull back, drive up. Oh, third resistance. What's going to happen, guys? Volume, baby. Hey, I can't say it enough, guys. That volume follows, guys. So one of the things that I'll be looking for this one is if we can get back closer towards this 1050 or 11 support. As you can see on this one day, we already touched it once. So I'll be looking for another touchdown towards support, towards that $11 price point. That'll get me excited, and then maybe I'll be looking for a nice volume pop to follow to come and try this 15. So definitely keep your eyes on this one. This is FUV, guys. FUV, guys. All right, so let's go into one of our losers of the day, guys. Let's see what is getting hit hard today, guys. So this is TPGY here, guys, getting hit. So what happened in TPGY? Is there any catalyst here, Chris?
I don't have a catalyst. This is that one that moved up over 100% on that deal announcement. So it looks like profit taking. This is an EV charging play. They're the leader in Europe, and they're looking to expand in North America. I'm a little surprised to see it down this much today because there were several articles out yesterday, again, reiterating Biden's plan for charging stations across the country. This is a company, that could benefit tremendously going forward from that Biden play.
Yep, and another one that, hey, if you would have had this one closer towards 10, it was in the 27th of November, it was hanging out at 976. So this is what I always talk about, getting closest to 10 and then giving yourself a potential for maybe a pop. And then what you do on this day is you do what everyone else did. They took from profit. And why not take profit if you're able to get a spike from, let's say, a $9 or $10 area up to about 20, 26, 28. I mean, I can't blame anybody for running to profits when you get that kind of gain. All right, so let's go into another one here, AMCI. But before I talk about it, one of the things I want to mention, guys, and it's for you traders out there to definitely be careful, is understanding the difference between being greedy and then being kind of a planned trader. A lot of the times you're going to notice that planned trades are going to be your best trades. Why? Because at least you're measuring risk, you're measuring reward, and everything gets kind of more structured. Now, what happens when we start getting these big gains, like I start seeing 40%, 50% gains, is we get lost a little bit. And you don't want to get lost all the time, guys. One of the things you want to do is stick to your plan and what you really want out of the market. And so one of the things that I looked and I asked myself, if I'm in one of these positions, is even in the perfect conditions, how much more can I gain in this stock? Because if it's not too much more, then a lot of the times I'm going to look at myself and I'm going to be like, hey, Mitch, you're probably being greedy here. 5% more isn't too much money. It might be best to take some profits here and not play the greedy game, not start getting into my gambling because my plan was to take profits here. And now I'm starting to think that maybe it can have that potential run and go massive. But at the same time, you have to stick to the probability game. Especially if you're a trader that's going to be trading often, you have to go with the gains that you got a lot of the times, not the gains that you want. So that's kind of what I wanted to bring up there. I know Chris could kind of agree to kind of this sense, and it's gonna happen. I have to give a shout out to Chris because he was also talking about how he was taking some profits on some of these and not trying to just continuously be greedy in them.
Yeah, and I saw some comments on Hyliion, HYLN, and Switchback, SBE. Those are two SPACs I've been in this year. They're two of my, at the time were my best performing. I took some profits, off of these at their peaks because, again, look at SPACs getting hit. Now we have Hyliion, trading below $20. This is a former $40 company. I sold some between $30 and $40, and I'm happy I did. Because look at that trend after the deal was announced. They haven't announced any orders or any new deals. So people are just trading out of this one. And, I have some shares still, but they're profits. I'm just, running with the house's money at this point, and I'm willing to, take a chance in the long-term future of that company. But, I'm glad that I didn't hold all my shares after this merger. So guys, don't be afraid to take profits off of some of these names. Look at the way SPACs have traded this year. There's been so much ups and downs, rotations in, rotations out, big spikes on deals. Now we're seeing smaller spikes on deals. So know your limits and know where that profit level is that you want to hit. And when you hit it, don't be afraid to sell.
Yep, I see it often. A lot of traders can kind of understand what risk management is, but a lot of traders really suffer with when do I take profits? I say you establish what works for you, and another thing is like what is a gain that is sufficient enough to where you can look back and be like, man, I nailed it. You know, and a lot of trades, if you do it the right way and you kind of attack a system, you're going to get into some winners. And so one of the things is you don't want to let a winner become a loser. And I think that's the actual like worst thing that I see in sometimes in trading is when you had someone that was up about 40% on a position, they wanted 60%, and then instead hold it all the way down into break even to the point where they go and they'll double down when they get to break even or something like that, and then the stock goes right underneath them the next day. They sell out, and usually what ends up happening is the stock comes back up, and you're left wondering what happened. A lot of the times that's going to be on, let's not be a gamblers, guys. Let's take a strategic approach to trading and a strategic approach to these SPACs. And that's really what I wanted to kind of focus on today. But enough about the watch list. I know we got a lot of people here. Probably they've seen the thumbnail. They want to get into some Biden plays here. Let's turn it positive. Let's get it up a notch. All right, guys. This is all I got to say. All right, guys, so I want to get into the middle segment here. Chris, what's going on with these Biden plays, and why are they even Biden plays to begin with?
Yeah, so today I want to take a different approach to Biden plays. So we've mentioned on the show several times that there's different SPACs that could be winners long term with that focus on clean energy and electric vehicles under the Biden administration. But today I want to highlight two SPACs, both pre-merger announcements that have direct ties to the Joe Biden administration through their management teams. So up first, we have PIPP, Pine Island Acquisition. This one's still trading as units, so it's actually PIPPU. Air Cargo Space, Defense, and Government Services. So their team behind this SPAC includes Tony Blinken, who's Biden's pick for Secretary of State, and General Lloyd Austin, Biden's Secretary of Defense pick. The SPAC raised $218 million. The filing said that the company is well suited to take advantage of the current and future opportunities present, and kind of highlighted on its management team and their experience, within those industries. We've seen a couple hedge funds and some, large activity with 7% stakes, 5% stakes that were actually done before the Biden announcements, just based on the strong management team. Now, I do want to note that the company has said that both of those, Blinken and Austin, will divest in their stake if they're confirmed by Senate. So we don't have to worry about any, kind of gray area here going forward. They wouldn't own directly in the company if they are part of that Biden team. Now, the team also includes John Tain, who's the former CEO of Merrill Lynch prior to their merger with Bank of America. He was also the CEO of CIT Group. And this team includes the Undersecretary of Defense for Policy under Obama, and it also includes 4 senators and the former House Minority Leader. So talk about a team that's got direct experience within the aerospace and the government services market. So this is one I really like here. Again, direct ties to Biden, but more importantly, that direct experience within the aerospace and government services market. Then up next, we have ACTC. So this is Arclight Clean Transition Corp. So again, this one just started trading common shares as ACTC, and their direct tie is they have one of their team members is on Biden's clean energy team. So I want to find her here. So Audrey Lee, she's on the board of directors. She was the former vice president of Sunrun Incorporated, which is a publicly traded company, symbol RUN. So she's also was a government appointee to the California Public Utilities Commission. So she is the co-chair and co-founder of the Clean Energy for Biden, group. So again, direct ties to Biden. She's got tons of experience within solar energy and clean energy, which again are big areas of focus for Biden. She served on the senior economics for the U.S. Department of Energy from 2005 to 2011. So tons of experience within those energy legislation departments. Arclight, the company behind this, they own several clean energy assets, totaling over 5 gigawatts of renewable energy. They have the largest wind project in the U.S. in Alta Wind that they own. And they also have a hydroelectric plant. So they have several assets too, to where they could be looking at maybe taking one of those public. But, the ties here with Audrey Lee being attached, her being on that Biden clean energy plan, I think it's going to give her, some foresight into what really are the growth markets going to be in clean energy under the Biden transition. So this is one that I think people need to look at, because it has that strong team, it has the ties to Biden, and then we will see a huge shift to clean energy, especially solar energy, going forward. So, Mitch, I see you got the chart up for ACTC. So, what can you tell us about, that newer SPAC here trading as commons now?
Yeah, one of the things is this one started underneath that $10 price point. One of the things just to note right off the back, you definitely want to note that whenever it's underneath that 10 is times when I want to see big volume. Why? Because I want to see if there's like a bigger investor, an institutional, an ETF, something really scooping up this before it breaks at $10. And then you'll see that break of $10 here. And what do you get? $10 and what? Look how it holds this $10 sideways. I talk about this often, guys. When it goes sideways is what I want to see after that $10 move. I don't want to see up past $10, back below $10, up, back below, up. That's kind of like the little swing game between the Bulls and the Bears. I want the Bulls to take control. I want to see big volume pops. I want to see it right into the next rip. Big volume again, and that's what you're seeing here. So definitely there's someone believing in it, grabbing it here on supports, and as you can tell, the supports have been holding in this stock. So definitely keep your eye on this one. It has some attention. You can tell just because of the volume and the consistency of the volume. It's not like it's disappearing. You're not getting a lot of these days where you just get like no volume. So a lot of volume means that someone's trying to build a position. I'll definitely keep an eye on this one. I haven't done the biggest research on this one, so I can't really say that I would be leaning into this one. But I can at least say that I can see the intention. I can see some investors getting in. So definitely keep this one on your radar. All right, traders. So one of the best times of the day, one of the things I want to do today, I want to do something a little different. I want everyone, we have so many listeners now. And go ahead and put up in the state you're in, maybe the country you're in the chat. I want to see how global we are, guys. Go ahead and put it in the chat. We'll announce some of these, and let's go ahead and get into some of the ticker time also. And what do we got here today? All right, guys. So I'm seeing a lot of things mentioned out there. I'm seeing Canada, Texas. We got some Florida crazy guys. I know I'm an ex-Florida guy. I mean, we know how us Florida guys are. So
Mitch, I saw
Go ahead.
Africa and I saw Australia. So, I mean, two extra continents tuning in today that I haven't seen in the chat before.
We got it all. We got Germany. We got Vegas, man. Under the lights. We're going global. We're going global, Chris. So, all right. So let's go ahead and let's get into some of these SPACs. All right. So go ahead, guys. Put your tickers in there. Let's start loading this up. Let's get some tickers time, guys, going here. So if there's anything that I've been watching, guys, I've been keeping my eye on it. SEAH. I'm definitely going to go ahead and put that up there. Let's go ahead and take a look at that one. That's been the one that's on my radar. So I'm going to take a look here. And what do we got? Let's take a look. All right, so this is a SEAH. This is a sports entertainment one. Starting to go sideways for me. I want to see if we can hold today that $10. You see how we're coming back to this 10.05? I always talk about that sideways move, right? So I got that pop day. Now, can we go sideways and hold the $10 here? That's what I'm going to be looking for, guys. So let's go ahead and let's catch up with the chat here. What do you guys want to talk about? All right, seeing a lot of tickets mentioned here. So I'm going to try to scroll up here and start going through these. All right, so one that we talked about that was a really popular stock. Over here, BFT being mentioned a couple times, but I'm going to mention it by a new face that I see out there. Diane here, BFT. So let's take a look at the chart. And what do you see in this chart, or what do you see in the stock, Chris?
Yeah, so this was one that was highlighted on CNBC a couple days ago. Steve Grasso said that it could double or triple. So a lot of new faces getting into this. I've seen a lot of comparisons between PaySafe, the company they're taking public, to Square and PayPal, kind of looking at those valuations. This is one I like going forward. I love the online payment space. They're the leader in iGaming. They have partnerships with Fortnite, Twitch, Roblox, several sports betting companies. So talk about some names that are seeing, big growth in those online payments. So, I like this one. It has sold off, it looks like, over the past day and a half. So it might be, worth looking at those bottom levels to see, where that dip is going to be to catch it before its next upswing.
All right, guys. So let's go ahead and let's touch another new face here. So noticing here, we got CFII mentioned here. All right, so let's go ahead and let's pull it up here. All right, so what do you know about this one?
So CFII is the one that's taking View, the smart windows company, public. We highlighted this that day of that announcement. They're a leader in smart windows. They think it's a huge market. I do think, again, possible Biden play as we, push for new buildings to be built more sustainably. So, it's an interesting one for sure. Smart windows going forward.
Yeah, definitely. We'll keep an eye on this one. Let's go ahead and let's keep moving on. I want to talk a lot of stocks today. Let's keep rolling here. We're seeing another one here mentioned, another new face, Quell. Let's go ahead and check it out here. All right. So what do you want to talk about this one, Chris?
Yeah. So Quell, Again, trading over $12. It's been over 13. They have not announced a target, so be careful with your levels here. The rumor has for a long time been Proterra, an electric bus company. One of the guys behind this SPAC has ties directly to Proterra, so they've kind of been linked together. If it is Proterra, I think this one spikes higher. If it is not Proterra, you may see some selling as a lot of people are just parking money into this name, kind of hoping for that announcement.
All right, all right. I hope I pronounced this name correctly. Teseko. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and let's keep going into this one. Let's go into another one here. I'm seeing the Blitzman. We got to recognize the new faces out here. So Blitzman, NGA. What do you know about this NGA and where's it going, Chris? What's going on with it?
Yeah, so NGA bringing Lion Electric public. This is a stock that I own. Electric bus, electric vans. They announced a new deal with Con Edison, a utility company, where they're actually helping school districts, have electric buses and then sell some of that energy generated to the utility companies during high peak times, which is definitely an industry to watch for some of these struggling school districts. They not only get the cost savings with an electric bus, but then they're able to sell the electricity back to the utility companies. And I will say, guys, that Lion Electric is one of the companies that we are trying to bring on the management team here for a interview on the show. So stay tuned for that.
All right, guys. So let's go ahead and let's keep rolling through here. But I'll take a look at this chart. And one of the things that I can mention is that you're seeing this kind of resistance, old resistance, becoming new support. I would be careful with this area just because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of shares that are trading up here in the $16 to $15 area. So you could see a drop down, maybe even towards 13. So I definitely be careful about this one. Sometimes I want to just alert people that, it's potential that the gap down, the next move down could come all the way down towards 13 or even comes down towards this $12. So I am looking at this story and I'm interested in the story itself. But at the same time, I feel like this evaluation up here, I'm going to keep an eye on it, see if we get a little drop in the next couple of days. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and let's keep rolling through here. I'm going to touch one of these. We got 3 stocks mentioned here. Unfortunately, we can't go through all 3 of them. But Dorothy, I see you. So let's do your first one. IPOC here. IPOC is definitely one on a lot of people's radars. I know that. IPO anything really is on a lot of people's radars. So let's take a look here at this chart. All right, so one of the things that I'm seeing is a recollection of volume at the bottom. And what I like to see here is how does it react to this opening price point? As you can see, when it got to that level, people started getting interesting. And the moment that it dipped below that $10 price point, it really swung right back. And that's what I look for at least. So then what do we got? We got that sideways action above 10. And now the volume is really starting to accumulate. And so with that accumulation of volume, I'll be looking for this pullback closer towards 11 here as you're seeing kind of this down day that it wicked through. Let's see if it can hold the 11s and maybe get some catalyst here. I'll keep an eye on this one. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and keep going through the chat here. I want to go over one more ticker here. Let's see what we got. We got GIK mentioned here. So let's go ahead with Luca GIK here. So what would you like to talk about GIK, Chris?
Oh, man, I think someone's going to spoil my teaser I had coming up for the end of the show with GIK here. So GIK, Gig Capital 3, this one just announced their deal recently. So they are bringing Lightning E-Motors public. This is an electric vehicle company. Full disclosure, I own shares of GIK. And guys, since someone asked in the chat, I'm excited to tell you that tomorrow on the show, we have CEO and co-founder Tim Reeser of Lightning E-Motors joining us. And also Dr. Raluca Dinu, the founding manager director of Gig Capital and the lead on Gig Capital 3. So we're going to get insights into Lightning E-Motors and also the SPAC that's bringing this company public. So thanks, Luca, for that question. That was my teaser at the end of the show. But since you brought up the stock, I'd love to hit on it, but we're going to have a lot of research and stuff on it tomorrow. So make sure you tune into the show tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely, guys. One of the things we do on the SPAC Attack is definitely bring you the experts and the CEO executive interviews that you guys want. So definitely always put in the comments below if there's any kind of SPAC that you guys want coverage on, you guys want us to reach out, put it in the comments. We check them every single day, and we're definitely looking forward to answering your question. So if you guys have them, put them in the comments below. Smash that like, hit the bell so you get notified the moment we go live. We do this every single day at 11 a.m. So if you were late today, don't be late tomorrow, guys. All right, guys. So like always, one of the things that we leave off with is want to give a shout out to a couple of people. So definitely shout out to all the new faces out there. We're seeing ourselves grow. So let your friends know that this is the best SPAC show in the world. We're going through information. We're going through technicals. We're going through fundamentals, the story, what you guys need to get informed trades. Anything else you want to leave them off with, Chris?
No, I mean, I already hit on my teaser. So again, interview tomorrow with the CEO of Lightning E-Motors and then also the team member behind Gig Capital. So we've had some great CEO interviews and looking forward to that tomorrow. So if you have not already subscribed, make sure you do so. Then you're going to know when we go live. You're also going to see all our videos. If you missed the show at the start, go back and rewatch those headlines at the top. We're bringing you as much information as we can, within the SPAC industry. So thanks again for joining. I know we saw some new faces, so we hope to see you again.
Yeah, guys, we love all the shout outs out there. So definitely thanks for appreciating us, and we'll continue appreciating and working hard for you guys. All right, we'll see you next time, guys, on the SPACs Attack.